Fuad back on Behind the Gloves with another interview. I'm joined by the one and only Michael Buffer. Michael, we're in Miami. How are you feeling?
I feel great. It's good to be here. It's a great week for sports fans, the week before the Super Bowl.
Before we go into the interview, I just want to take your thoughts on obviously the passing of Kobe Bryant. He's been a massive influence to many people in this generation, and I'm sure in the future as well. What was your initial reaction to the death?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I live in LA. I grew up in Philadelphia, and of course, you know, that's where Kobe is from. I remember his dad, JoJo, playing at LaSalle University and with the Philadelphia 76ers. And, you know, 41 years old, just that a part of his life was beginning where you really, really enjoy being around as a father and a husband, a family man, and just so tragic, with, you know, for all those losses, including his daughter. Heartbreaking.
Most definitely. I mean, it goes to show how much of a mark he left. There was people who don't even watch basketball who were heartbroken by the news. Obviously, our thoughts are with his family. Let's move on to this fight card. Quite an incredible fight card to kick off the year. But before we talk about the world title fights, I saw you little smirk when the YouTubers were going at it. What are you making about all these YouTubers going at it now?
Yeah, I find it very interesting, the YouTubers. I'm actually very impressed with the way these guys, you know, they don't come from a boxing background as amateurs or Olympics or anything like that. And they've trained and honed their skills and worked with you know, other fighters preparing for this. Logan Paul did an unbelievable job, as did KSI in the two fights they had. Jake fought before, and I'm looking forward to it. But they bring with them a fan base that possibly can just create more boxing fans worldwide.
What do you make of the boxing fans, the purists, should I say, who don't seem to be happy with this? I mean, a lot of us have come to adapt to it, and I think it's a fun side of it, but what do you have to say to those who, you know, don't seem to like it?
I understand and I respect where they're coming from. It's like they look at it like they're interlopers, and, you know, it's just they want to see, they're purists. And it's understandable. I have no problem with that. But that said, sit back and enjoy it. And if you don't like it, just say, okay, I got that out of the way. And you might enjoy it. You might see something. I mean, that fight that we had in LA, I mean, that was a great fight. It was really amazing. Yeah.
I mean, you could argue that it was the best fight of the night.
Yeah, I mean, you know, all great fights aren't always between two of the best fighters in the world, you know, so it's going to be a good night tomorrow night.
And obviously, because of the three other world title fights, it's definitely going to be a good night. Which one are you looking forward to the most? We've got some really good matchups.
Tomorrow night fights?
Yeah,
Which one? You know, the three world title fights are really good. You know, the main event, it's a Rocky Balboa story with Killer. I mean, he's not a guy that he's a true underdog, no doubt about that. The Jojo Diaz and Tevin Farmer fight, man, the way they were talking to each other here at the weigh-in, that's going to be a fun fight to watch. And anytime you have Daniel Roman step into the ring, man, you're looking at a Hall of Fame fighter. So three great title fights.
You getting upset for the main event tomorrow night, do you reckon?
You know, he's not an underdog for a reason, but underdogs win fights. You know, Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson, Andy Ruiz beat AJ. Upsets happen, so that's what you have to watch for.
Let's talk about AJ. Then you mentioned his name. Obviously, the heavyweight scene is back. It's been popping for a while. Wilder Fury coming up in a few weeks' time. There's talks about AJ possibly fighting Wilder Fury in Saudi Arabia. Now, what do you make of this? Obviously, the British fans want that fight so bad in the UK, and I'm sure it'd sell out 2 stadiums. But to have it in Saudi Arabia, what do you reckon?
I don't know who's going to win the Wilder Fury fight. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I hope the winner does fight AJ. But I will say this: if Tyson Fury wins that fight, and if Tyson Fury fights Anthony Joshua, I might just bet all 5 of my dogs, 2 cats, and my wife on the fact that fight will be in Wembley. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I just can't imagine. It would be the biggest fight in British history. If it's Wilder, let the bidding begin anywhere in the world. But I really think if it's Fury and AJ, the British fans are the ones that deserve to have that fight in their soil.
What makes you so sure? Because the AJ Ruiz fight, the rematch, you know, a lot of fans thought that was coming to the UK. I understand they're both Brits, but when Saudi pulls out that money, you don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah, but both AJ and Tyson are pretty powerful individuals in their own right.
Yeah.
They're going to make a lot of money. And can you spend $100 million or can you spend $150 million? It's not going to make much of a difference if they want to be home and fight in front of their home fans.
All right, thank you for your time. I just want one more message to the fight fans. Tell them why they should tune in tomorrow night.
I'm sorry.
Tell them why they should tune in tomorrow night.
Because it's a great card. There's no doubt about it. I mean, the Zone is going to have every fight on there. We have a good undercard, leading up to it. It's like 6 hours of boxing. The YouTubers, always interesting. 3 world title fights. The main event on paper isn't what you really want to see an undefeated guy like Demetrius fighting, but the guy can fight. He's a tough guy. And of course, with my some of my heritage, looking at my DNA, never bet against the Irishman, So we'll wait and see.
All right, Michael Buffer, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking this icon right here, or else